Marc Spears of Anscape came out the other day and said that there might be a dark horse mystery Eastern Conference team that wants to throw its hat in the ring for the Damian Lillard saga.
Yes, he said the Blazers have been talking to several teams. I'm kind of hearing rumors about another Eastern Conference team that I'm not going to throw out there just yet. And then I think he sort of threw out the Celtics a little bit, but like hypothetically.
Isn't this all just more conjecture and more artificial attempts to create leverage in a world where there is no leverage for the Portland Trail Blazers?
I would think so. Because also, like, why now? Why all of a sudden? And Dame has made it very clear he wants to go to Miami, and it doesn't seem like that's changing. So it does feel like a lot of smoke and mirrors because I just don't see a world in which he actually ends up somewhere else. I mean, I'd like to be wrong. It would be exciting if I were wrong. But what's your read on it?
I like how it is counterbalanced by this mini podcast tour that Damian Lillard has been on,
yes,
where he's doing what I like to call like very shrewd semantics of when asked by, for instance, Cam and Mason, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, is there any way you could go back to Portland? He said, in a perfect world, I would never leave Portland. So, by the letter of
let me tell you something about this world, Amin.
Yes.
It's not perfect.
Oh, that's the catch, right? That's the catch. The world's not perfect. But when he says it that way, by the letter of the NBA law that is prohibiting players from saying, I don't want to be here anymore and all that, I was like, I didn't say that. I said, in a perfect world, I'd be here forever. Right. And anything else is left to the inference of the person who is accepting the message. On the Back on Fig podcast, Damian Lillard was asked about like what the thing is, and he basically said, we didn't want the same things. We don't want the same things. And that's how he came to the decision that he wanted to get traded. And again, like this is alluding to, I want to win a championship. I want to be in a position to win a championship. And you guys are, being a team that wants to rebuild. And that's fine. That's the thing that I'm always like, there's nothing wrong with that. I keep saying this over and over again. You trade them because that's the right thing to do for them at this point, right, at this juncture.
Right. It wouldn't be doing Dame a favor, is what you're saying.
No, it happens to be doing him a favor, but this is what was in their best interest. Now, here's the problem. They should have done it 2 years ago.
Right.
2 years ago, they knew the writing was on the wall. A year and a half ago, they knew the writing was on the wall. This ain't working. We got to move on. But they didn't want to do it because they were too scared to say, oh, we can't trade Dame. We have to wait until Dame says trade me.
Right.
Right? Which is the coward's way out because you don't want, everyone's going to hate us because we traded a franchise player. But here's the reality, Charlotte.
Yes.
Is that a little too intense there? And you're like, yes.
It's like, tell me.
The reality is, the moment you say, I'm not going to trade him until he demands to be traded, you have effectively ceded control of the process.
Right. And you don't have leverage.
You don't, because you said, I don't want the responsibility. Someone else take the responsibility. When someone else takes the responsibility, they dictate the terms.
So do you think, given all that, after the Spears report, he's going to end up in either Miami or Portland?
If it doesn't happen in September, which is, training camps open October 3rd, I want to say. Yeah. So if it doesn't happen in September, then I think the next big milestone marker is December 15th. That's the earliest date you can start trading players that were signed in the offseason. It just makes a lot more people available to be traded.
Do you think they'll do it? Do you think Miami and Portland would get their acts together by December? Like, what makes December different from now, I guess, is my question.
Well, December 15th is the date where you can start trading guys that signed in this past summer.
Okay.
So, all these guys that signed this summer are ineligible to be traded right now.
Got it.
But when you get to December 15th, what's happening is two things. One is you get some teams that are like, oh, yeah, he wasn't that good, or he doesn't fit what we're trying to do.
Right.
But two is you get the ability to say, this guy is now available. So now more teams and more players are available to get moved in a possible multi-team deal for Damian Lillard. So that's what the significance of that date is. And then the last milepost is obviously the trade deadline in February.
Right.
So
end of the season, where's Damian Lillard?
Right across the street.
Biscayne Boulevard.
Yeah, heard it here first. All right.